Good morning, all. Today, let's talk about Luck Philip Dube. Luck Philip Dube was born in Ermelo, Umril of Eastern Transvaal, now of Mpumalanga, on 3rd August 1964. His parents separated before his birth and he was raised by his mother, who named him Lucky because she considered his birth fortunate after a number of failed pregnancies. Along with his two siblings, Thandi and Mandla, Dube spent much of his childhood with his grandmother Sarah, while his mother relocated to work in 1999 in Thailand. He described his grandmother as his greatest love, who multiplied many things to bring up his responsible individual that am today. As a child, Dube worked as a gardener, but as he matured, he realized that he wasn't earning enough to feed his family. He began to attend school. There he joined a choir and with some friends formed his first musical ensemble called the Skyway Band. While at school, he discovered the Rastafari movement. At the age of 18, Dube joined his cousin's band, the Love Brothers, playing Zulu pop music known as Paganga, whilst funding his lifestyle by working for Hall and Coke as a security guard at the car auction in Midrand. The band signed with Till Record Company under Richard Seluma. Till was later incorporated into Gallo Record Company. Though Dube was still at school, the band recorded material in Johannesburg during his school holidays. The resultant album was released under the name Lucky Dube and the Super Song. The second album was released soon afterward, and this time Dube wrote some of the lyrics in addition to singing. It was around some time when he began to learn English. On the release of his fifth album, Dave Segal, who became Dube's sound engineer, encouraged him to drop the super soul element of the name. All subsequent albums were recorded as Lucky Dube. At his time, Dube began to note fans while responding positively to some reggae songs he played during live concerts, drawing inspiration from Jimmy Cliff and Peter Tosh. He felt the social political message associated with Jamaican reggae were relevant to a South African audience. By highlighting the toils of his own homeland, he was revolutionary insofar as he introduced a competing version to reggae, constant tendency and romanticizing the utopian homeland of Africa. Dube used it as a platform to promote racial equality within Africa during the apartheid. He used Dube to frame his arguments about colonialism and the Africa slave trade, and how he felt that Africa should be reclaimed by the black race. On his life of legacy, on 21st October 2008, Ray Claudisk released a compilation album entitled Retrospective, which featured many of Dube's most influential songs as well as previously unreleased tracks in the United States. The album celebrated Dube's music and honored the contribution he made to South Africa. The Roots Reggae Library has taken steps to store digital version of the Pagange album made in the 85 of the 6th album have been retrieved has yet not been found as one of the first artists to bring African reggae to the mainstream. Dube bridged cultural gaps within the African diaspora. What Black Dube's music did was present a crisis to a cross-culturality and visionary possibilities that the diaspora at large tended to harass. Dube gave Africa a voice and put its culture on the global stage by joining the global reggae community through the taking Jamaica roots music back to its roots. He recontextualized the oppression and political struggle that reggae seeps itself in, bringing the basis of the diaspora back in conversation with the diaspora at large to allow for more pan-African form of cultural expression. Dube roots reggae brought African people to the table in terms of conversation about the black diaspora by mimicking Caribbean artists' assertions of Africa, authenticity of racial utopian. Lucky Dube ultimately show how Africans have to find their way into the conversations of the black diaspora by mimicking their assertion of Africa, authenticity of racial utopian. Dube catalyzed roots reggae appearance as a popular form of protest song. This helped legitimize and strengthen the opposition gesture in popular African music and culture, particularly for those generations born after decolonization. On 18th October 2017, Gallo Records South Africa released a 25-track limited edition commemorative album titled The Time We've Shared. The album features his biggest exclusive performance and 3 previous unreleased tracks. In Australia, Dube music has found resonance in remote Australian Aboriginal communities, and his popularity has led Lucky Dube to be called bigger than the Beatles throughout much of Central and Northern Australia. Top 5. Dube was a touring act in early spring in Central Australia, promoted by entrepreneur Scott Bocock on advice from his friend Joe Miller, discjockey on local First Nation radio station Kahama Radio, and he had noted that Dube's popularity was growing. Dube's Australia tour started May 2005, and he played in early spring to cold 4,000 people down Northern Territory and Cairns, Queensland. On 18th October 2007, Lucky Dube was killed by armed robber in Rosettenville, Johannesburg suburb, shortly after dropping 2 of his 7 children off at their uncle's house. Dube was driving his Chrysler 300C, which he silenced well after. Police reports suggest he was shot dead by carjacker who did not recognize him and believed that he was a Nigerian. 5 men were arrested in connection with the murder. 3 were tried and found guilty. On 31st March 2009, 2 of the men attempted to escape and were caught. The men were sentenced to life in prison. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the history of Lucky Philip Dube. Lucky Philip Dube was a great guy. Lucky Philip Dube lived a very legacy. Where will we find another man like Philip Dube? Here, I do a walk like every day when I go to my job. There is no car that have interred and just end my journey without hearing the song of Lucky Philip Dube. Can you imagine the kind of that legacy? So that means that that for sure the things you do for yourself remain to be yourself, and the things you do for yourself are gone when you are gone, but the things you do for others remain as your legacy. For sure, this man on his time, he tried to fight for us just by using his voice. You remember in those times how South Africa was. So this teaches us of how you can use your voice just to liberate many people many people that who knows you or just others who don't know you. So you have a part to play in this world. For sure, no one comes from heaven empty. So everyone comes with something just as a tool to use in this journey of this world. So what are you doing with what you have? What are you doing? Because time is gone. Time is not on your side. So if you postpone some things and you say that I will do it tomorrow, man, you have to overcome fear. For sure, you have to overcome fear so that you can become a blessing to many people, so that you can live a life of just live and living legacy, and to leave a mark in this world that showed that you have truly lived on your time, and you have played your role. You have played your role on your time. So thank you guys. Please continue sharing it as just they are going. We will be continuing to sharing with you some history of other people that have lived the legacy. Thank you so much. Be blessed.